Is he just starting to eat already?
Yeah, we're waiting for the pod.
I can't wait. I just start eating. No, I want to take it out of the bag so I don't make all that noise.
Welcome to Was It Good, the podcast that used to talk about movies and TV shows, but we don't do that anymore. You might have noticed we've been gone for a little bit, but we're back. And now we're talking about life's decisions, processes, and everything in between. I'm your host, Arjuna, and I'm joined by my two brothers,
Krishna.
And Ravi.
and together we are known as We Are Was It Good. That's right.
Welcome back. Just so everyone's aware, Arjuna butchered the intro. It wasn't processes, it was trends.
I like mine
I like
better.
it.
I like mine better.
Yeah, we're talking about the life's processes,
We're
like how,
talking life's micro processes.
like how babies are made and how hair grows.
Yeah, why not?
mysteries.
Yeah,
You know, the Matrix
we're
says
back.
that the human brain is the best processor, so I guess he's right.
Isn't it The Departed where they talk about microprocessors?
Yes.
They talk about a lot of things in The Departed, namely about cranberry juice and
Periods.
periods.
I believe that The Departed is known as the movie of microprocessors, cranberry juice, and Mark Wahlberg.
I forget he's in that movie, to be honest. Look at that. We're already talking about movies again.
We are.
Unbelievable.
Welcome back. It's been a long time. This is our first podcast in almost a year. We kind of went off and we never said anything, and we're back now. Back after a long hiatus. You know, life is busy and gets in the way. We're going to get to the podcast, its return, what we're doing with it. We're also going to get to our recent hangout. We were all together recently. We went to Universal Studios in Hollywood. We're going to talk about that. But first, we're going to try something a little bit different. We are in the month of April, which is known as the month of Easter for most religious, Christian, Catholic people. And something I discovered recently is that many fast food chains offer a fish sandwich alternative during these months because a lot of people give up meat, I believe, for Easter, for Lent. And so there is the fish alternative. And one fish sandwich I have discovered recently is the flounder fish sandwich at Popeyes. And so both Ravi and I have gotten a Popeyes sandwich. Ravi has gotten the original flounder. I have
is
gotten
that
the
why
spicy.
mine's blue and yours is
Yes.
yellow?
And Krishna lives in a landlocked state. We won't say which one, but
Denver,
his
Colorado.
Popeyes doesn't offer that. So he got a Wendy's fish sandwich. And so I just thought it would be fun for us to eat fish sandwiches and hang out. So everyone, open your fish sandwiches and talk while you chew, because that's what our parents taught us to do.
Well, hold on. Mine is I've been sitting in the bag for maybe 25 minutes now, so it's a little soggy.
Yep. So
As
so
is
is
mine.
mine.
You know what's fascinating though? So, obviously Popeyes, right? Popeyes is known for their chicken. They had a huge resurgence a couple of years ago when they did their spicy hot chicken sandwich, and this is fish. And I smell this, and I'm like, this smells like chicken. So now I'm like, did I actually get chicken or is it fish?
Hmm.
No, it's fish.
This is the most average fish sandwich I've ever had.
This is the driest fish sandwich I've ever had. I don't even think there's sauce on this shit. There's barely any sauce.
There's supposed to be a sauce.
I think that part of that is it sitting, because mine's been sitting for like 25 minutes. So they're not fresh, and fast food, by definition, needs to be eaten fresh.
Fast.
I can feel my arteries closing.
I will say I asked for no pickles,
You got pickles?
and they put a pickle in mine.
Why aren't you a pickle guy?
I don't like pickles.
Is it because it reminds you of a cucumber before it was pickled?
Yes. It's actually because of the SpongeBob episode where there's a character that comes in and he says no pickles, and he just puts them under his tongue and makes SpongeBob feel bad about himself. So I stand in solidarity with SpongeBob SquarePants.
Have you ever watched Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Isn't there
Pickle
a guy
Rick?
named like Mr. Pickles?
Pickle Rick?
Pickle
Pickle
Rick?
Rick.
That's a clone, right?
No,
Oh, I thought Pickle
he
Rick
turns
was a
himself
clone of
into a
Rick.
pickle for an episode.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's his. You could say it's like his alter ego. Not alter ego. His like, it's like a Super Saiyan transformation.
Well, you know, the original creator got fired from that show, so now they have different voice actors for both Rick and Morty.
Why?
He did things,
He was a piece of shit.
and he did bad things.
There you go.
So it happens. So what's
Arjuna-
everyone's verdict for their
I
sandwich?
mean, it's average as fuck. I'm getting more sauce now, so it's a little bit better.
A 5 out of 10. It might be a 7 if I'd eaten it fresh, but
What's the
25
Wendy's one?
minutes late.
Christian, you failed the project.
No, Popeyes Denver failed, not me.
Are you sure it wasn't on the menu? Because you have to like scroll down.
Yeah, I searched for it. So, because I ordered through Uber Eats, so wasn't on there.
I can like taste the grease.
All right, so if you have to compare it to the
McDonald's fish fillet?
the industry standard McDonald's fish fillet, this is definitely clearly a second place. This is not even close.
Your
Do you know
Wendy's.
why the McDonald's fish fillet always wins every time?
I
Why?
disagree with this take.
Because anywhere you go in the world, it tastes the exact fucking same.
That's fair.
Which proves that it's not real fish. Which proves that they have tricked us into thinking it's fish.
It's definitely not real fish. I have never been a huge fan of the McDonald's fish fillet. It's not my favorite. It doesn't make me feel great. I really like this Popeyes one, especially the spicy one. It's got a nice flavor to it.
Wait, what do you get from McDonald's if you don't get the fish fillet?
I don't really get McDonald's. The only real time I get McDonald's is when I'm over at your house.
And the only time that I get McDonald's is when Christian's at my house.
The only time I get McDonald's is
When
When
you're
you're
at,
at my house?
no, it's not. I get it here too.
I mean, I prefer McDonald's breakfast over their regular lunch menu. And
This is a good segue into the exorbitant prices of everything right now. I think I was telling you, Christian, like McDonald's breakfast for like 2 people, 2 entrees and like something extra with delivery. If you do all that, it's like around $50.
That's
Which is insane.
absurd.
Now, granted, like yes, you could just go pick it up yourself, save probably about $15, but then you're still talking $35 for like McDonald's level of food.
Right.
that's fair. McDonald's. Have it your way.
I'm very glad
That's
I got
BK.
spicy chicken nuggets and fries with this.
Oh, I got regular Popeyes chicken. I had a little bit before this, and that shit slaps. Also, the biscuits
The biscuits are really good for Popeyes.
and the gravy and the mashed potatoes.
They have all that?
That's
Yes.
like a
Christian,
KFC.
Popeyes is basically the non-greasy, better version of KFC.
Wow. Shit.
Like I could
But you
say
did
what
like
I
the fish
want to
sandwich.
say, but I think people
I had
know what I want to
KFC
say.
like 2 weeks ago. I couldn't even finish it because I felt sick.
The way I look at it is KFC is like New England, and Popeyes is like the South. And I'll let you, the viewer, figure out what I mean by that.
What do you mean by that?
I'm not saying that.
Oh. Well,
So you guys loved the Popeyes fish sandwich.
No, I'll probably never get that ever again in my life.
Get the spicy one.
I will say the Wendy's was a letdown. Wendy's,
You
I
didn't
don't
even
know.
get the right one.
I don't know if the fish sandwich at Wendy's is a regular item or if they're doing it for April Fools. I mean Easter. So either way, they could do better. There's room for improvement.
What I like about the fish fillet from Popeyes is that it's not like the minced up like frozen fish meat. It's a little bit more of like an actual fish. Not fully. There's definitely process in there, but it does feel a little bit more substantive. And that's why I like it. I'm glad you came to my TED Talk today so I could share this fish sandwich.
Last thing on the fish, I was back in Cali this last weekend, and we got Burger King. And Ravi, I don't remember if you remember, because we had quite a few drinks. We got the fish sandwich from Burger King, and it was way better than whatever I just had from Wendy's. It was actually surprisingly good. So
Burger King's always too salty for me. Excuse me.
Jesus.
I've been drinking with this fish sandwich.
Slow down there with your eating of the fish sandwich.
It's the sauce.
Is it too spicy for you?
Yeah. Speaking of LA, Krishna, you were back in LA this previous weekend, and while we were all hanging out, not only did we decide to restart this podcast, we also went to a theme park, Universal Studios Hollywood. We have all been together before a few years ago at an undisclosed media event, but this was the first time we paid to get in. And went and explored. We did 2 rides. We did the studio tour, Studio Hollywood tram tour. That takes you through the back lot on the world famous tram, which was the original conceit of Universal Studios Hollywood. It was just a tram ride for many, many years until they actually
I
built
had
a
no
theme
idea.
park. And then it just celebrated, I believe, last year, its 70th anniversary of the existence of the tram ride. And then we also went on Harry Potter Forbidden Journey, the indoor kind of moving, I wouldn't call it a full roller coaster. I don't know what you'd call it, like a 4-box, and you kind of float around and you mix between a screen and practical effects in front of you. We did those 2 rides, and we hung out there for a good amount of a day. We bought wands. We ate some food. We
drank some
Wait, hold on.
had some
We should
beverages.
clarify. We didn't buy wands. Our mother bought a wand.
Yeah,
That's true.
And the reason
She
that we
bought
went
one.
there is because Mom wanted to go. Because
and this is her early.
this was
Mother's
like
Day
her
gift.
her early Mother's Day gift, because Christian was, the 3 of us were all in town, so we went there for her Mother's Day. But like, I guess I have a question for the 2 of you, and like, do you think Mom likes Universal Studios more than Disneyland? And if she does,
It definitely does.
is that because like she's more familiar, or like she prefers that IP over, I guess, the Disney IP?
I think that's part of it. You know, I think there's a lot of the Disney IP, which is like
Kitty.
princesses and, you know, the classic kind of Disney cartoons, which I think Mom likes, but those aren't like great rides in a lot of ways. And Mom has always been like, I like rides and I like those types of things. And I think Universal probably has the better rides for the IP she's more interested in, like Harry Potter or Jurassic Park or anything like that. The Mummy, if you will.
E.T.
Well, so then I think then we should ask like the bigger question, the better question, because like I know for a fact, like Arjuna, you like both those theme parks. I'm pretty indifferent to theme parks. Krishna,
I hate theme parks.
well, there we go.
Yeah.
But what? How do you feel of like Universal in comparison to like Disneyland? Because you've obviously been to both, and you know you've had. I don't think. Yeah, this is the only theme park I think you had to pay for.
Yes.
So I guess like if you look at for bang for your buck, and again, we got the special where you buy a day and then you get a second day. So you really have to look at it as like you didn't pay $150 for one day. It's what,
Yeah.
$75 for a day.
Yeah.
Well, 52.50 for a day.
Yeah. So like, what do you think?
So it's funny. I don't like theme parks. We worked at theme parks when we were in high school.
Shout out to Canopy Lake Park.
Yeah, working at a theme park will really, for most people, not everyone, will put you off of theme parks. You see too much behind the scenes, and you have to clean up too much puke. It'll just ruin it for you. But if I'm comparing Universal to Disney, I think Universal is a little bit more palatable there's only one reason, is that it's smaller and not as many people go. Disney's more popular. When you go to Disney, it's packed. Also, Disney attracts a cult-like following of fans. Disney millennial people is like a thing, right? There are people who are approaching middle age who love Disney and they love it more than children do. I find that
Christian,
disturbing.
Arjuna's younger than you. How can you say he's approaching middle age?
Middle age. So technically, the average lifespan in the U.S. is 76.
For fuck's
Middle
sake.
age. Middle
Right
age
now?
is like 38. So I said approaching middle age.
Yeah.
In a few years, we'll all be middle aged officially.
Wait,
Some of us
your
will get
midlife
there
crisis
faster
gonna
than
be?
others.
What was that?
What's your midlife crisis going to be?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
I think mine's going to be eating just solely fish sandwiches from fast food restaurants.
I just immediately got nauseous. But yeah, I think just slightly, Universal is more palatable. I will say though, the most fun I ever had was Disney World, but that's because we stayed at Epcot the whole time drinking.
Wait, so if we found... Wait, hold on a second. So then if we just took you to Vegas, to the Vegas Strip, and we're like, Christian, this is a theme park, and we just drank from stop to stop to stop, you would imagine that was the best theme park in the world.
Vegas is not a theme park, and there are far less kids.
It has rides. It does have rides.
It does
Yeah.
have rides.
But there are
There's
far less
attractions and shows.
children. Children are what are like half the reason that theme parks are annoying, right?
So Vegas is this is a rumor. I saw this on Instagram, so we all know that means diddly. But the rumor I saw, I think it's called the Circus Hotel on the Vegas Strip. It's the one that looks like a castle, like is very kiddie looking. But Vegas has typically been like adults focused, right? Like you go to gamble and be degenerate. Supposedly Disney's going to be purchasing that and turning it into like a family resort hotel thing, which is going to make like Vegas. That's always been the thing with Vegas is like people want to make it more kid friendly
Why?
because then you can attract that other group of people that have kids that can't.
They're trying to get families.
You want to get families in there to gamble because again, at
You
the
want
end of the
that
day,
for
gambling is great.
What's better than charging one person? 4 people. What's better than charging 2 adults? 2 kids who are going to be like, Mommy, Daddy, buy me this, buy me that, or Daddy, Daddy, or Mommy, Mommy, or...
And then that annoyance will drive the parents to drink more, gamble more, and just try and be away from their kids more.
Yeah, I was thinking about it from like the logistics. I would feel bad for like the law enforcement because you got to figure out how to separate. Vegas is called Sin City, right? So how to separate the sin from the family? You know, it's like ooh, messy. It just sounds messy.
Well,
But anyways, makes sense. Money.
money makes the world go around. So what did everyone feel? How did people like their experience at Universal this weekend in particular?
Oh, this weekend. Well, the tour was cool. I was surprised by how sort of the live action stuff that they had along the way, like the psycho guy running at us with a knife, going through some of the sets with like disaster sets, the Jaws thing. It was well paced. Like those things were paced out enough where it was an hour and it didn't feel like an hour. So I was shocked at how much I did not hate that. And also I will say this, last thing about Disney, the turkey leg at Universal is better than the turkey leg at Disney. The turkey leg at Disney, at least the twice I've had it, usually a little bit dry, but the turkey leg at Universal was moist.
I'm going to argue you're only saying that. I'm not trying to defend Disney, but I'm not going to say that because, number one, we were all severely hungover as fuck.
By that point, we were drunk again.
Exactly. We started out severely hungover as fuck, then we were drunk again, and then we were hungry.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like...
No, the leg was more tender and juicier. I mean, that's just a fact.
for the next pod, I'd like you to have turkey legs from Universal and Disneyland flown to Krishna in Colorado, please, so that we can.
They might be both dry at that point.
No,
I don't think they'll be edible at that point.
What if we
Actually, you
found
can
a
make
turkey?
yourself turkey soup at that point.
There you go.
Is
Bones
that a
and
thing?
all.
Turkey soup.
Yeah.
You could make anything
Broth.
with marrow into a soup.
Yeah.
There you go. Learn something new every day.
But what about you guys? What about, your universal
I mean,
experience?
I liked it more because, again, I'm a hashtag privileged, so I've been to these theme parks a bunch. So at some point, it kind of just becomes mundane because I don't really care about the foods. I don't even really care about the new rides. Typically, because when new rides pop up, you have to wait, and I hate lines. But this was more fun for me because I get to follow you two around. I mic'd you guys up. Shout out, check out my vlog channel, Ravi and Lauren Vlog on YouTube. You'll see Christian and Arjuna's hilarious take as they explore Universal. Very clueless. I was going to call it Two Morons, but I felt that's mean, so I'm just calling it Two Clueless Brothers. Trek the Grand Universal Lot or something. It's a
There
very
you
long
go.
title.
You should just call it 2.5 Fucks in Universal. Wait, that
I mean,
doesn't
that
sound
would
right.
kind of work, or just two people not giving a fuck. I don't know.
Yeah. You gotta lean into edgy. People want to see swear words. I think.
Edge.
Square word.
I had a lot of fun. I go to Universal a bunch, and I go to Disney a lot, so that's always fun for me. But it was nice to go with the family and hang out and have like a pretty full day. I will say, because I have like an annual pass to Universal, so like when I go to Universal, I only go typically for like a couple hours. So that was like
Couple hours, Jesus. That's too
Well,
long.
why? For me, right? My thinking is I can come anytime. Like,
Right.
if I just want to go on a ride or two, I can go, and then I can go home, and I still have the rest of my day, and I'm not annoyed or exhausted or like waiting in lines. Like for me, when I have an annual pass, I'm not waiting in any line that's longer than like 15 minutes because why would I do that? But it was fun. It was fun to hang out with everybody. It was fun to get people's reactions on the studio tour and then the Forbidden Journey ride. Christian, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that, on the Harry Potter ride in particular. But it was a fun time. It was fun to be there. It was definitely calmer than I thought it would be. We went on a Sunday, and
It was very
busy.
chill, well behaved,
It was busy, but it was chilled and relaxed,
except for the cops
which-
that one time.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're
that
on the
was
studio lot
strange.
tour and the cop cars flying around everywhere. We're like, are we in danger?
Yeah.
I'm in danger. So that was interesting. But yeah, it was cool to be around. It was cool to be there. The sun was a bit hot. So
Is snow wet? Look, all I'm saying is Universal, Southern California, sun, No
I just don't
surprises
think
there.
there's any ozone layer left. So the sun feels,
Arjun, if there was no
stronger every
ozone
time.
layer left, we'd be so fucking dead.
Yeah,
well,
it's
the Earth is flat and the sun is just a light that
indoors,
they.
we would be dead.
We live under a dome, so I think they're just turning it up more.
or the
I'm
simulation.
sorry. Did you watch? Actually, never mind. I don't know if either of you have seen that new Hulu show.
Hulu?
Never
show?
mind.
Oh, Paradise.
Yes, never mind. Move
Oh,
on.
you told me
Move
to
on.
watch it. I will check
Move
it
on.
out.
Yes, move on from it.
James Marsden is Cyclops.
Yes,
He's
this is
playing
where
the same
Jean
character
Grey
from
sent
X-Men.
him after the events of X-Men 3 when
Yeah,
he
he
was
didn't die.
vaporized.
Isn't he going to
Cyclops
be?
lives.
Isn't he going to be in your guys' favorite upcoming movie, Avengers: Doomsday?
Doomsday?
Robert Downey Jr. wants to build an extension on his house movie. Yes.
Junior,
I
real
think
quick,
he's
you
going to be
asked
able to
about
do more of an extension.
Oh, like a country. He'll be able to do a country, I think.
I
after
mean,
that.
the man. Real quick on Robert RDJ. So he after Iron Man and he snapped his fingers and dropped dead. Similar to like RDJ's career, it kind of just like fell off a fucking cliff.
Well,
And then, like,
you could say, and then Oppenheimer happened,
he
and he
did a
won
really
the
good
Oscar.
job, I think, in Oppenheimer, and like I think that speaks to
It was
like
the best part of that movie.
the prestige of like a Nolan film, and like that's you could argue Nolan is like that classic Hollywood and actually making like good movies, blah blah blah, whatever the fuck. So I expect like Doctor Doom's portrayal to be like Oscar level worthy, and I think what's gonna happen is we're gonna expect that the Oscars are going to like buy that somehow, and he'll be nominated at the very least for it. And it
First of
won't
all-
be. It'll be like complete and utter like superhero garbage.
As we know, the only superhero role that can get an Oscar is the Joker. As the two actors who have played Joker, Joaquin Phoenix and Heath Ledger both won the Oscar for their Joker portrayals, one for supporting, one for lead. So unless he turns into the Joker, I don't think it's possible.
Villains are easier to show off the acting chops usually.
I also just don't think. I think the Hollywood ecosystem of it all. I don't know if either of you have watched Seth Rogen's new show, The Studio, which is I really like. I really enjoy, but it is funny the commentary they have on the studio system. There's no chance that Robert Downey Jr. gets nominated for an Oscar.
Honestly, though, it's those kind of movies that are the only thing that keeping Hollywood afloat. So if you're going to go...
Christian, I don't know if you've heard, there's a new
Minecraft
big IP in town, and it's called Minecraft.
So I only know about this from the some of the commentary on the Gen Zers losing their freaking minds.
This is their end game. This is their Dark Knight.
Meme.
This is the meme. This is the Dark Knight. It's over.
It's true.
We're done.
It's
We're
true.
washed. Movies aren't for us anymore.
Like Christian, you didn't watch this with Arjun and I, but like, could you imagine our guy Ronan Dax, right, from Stargate Atlantis? Jason Momoa is like, in my opinion, his first big breakout role before he was Drogo or whatever the fuck his name is from Game of Thrones. Like, this was his breakout role, and our boy Jason Momoa leading Hollywood man in Minecraft.
So. We're not a movie and TV review podcast, but real quick, just to talk about this for a second, just for 1 second here. Obviously, Hollywood has completely changed in the last 5 years, right? Whole bunch of different reasons for that, blah, 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 whatever. The fact that Minecraft is making big bucks, right? And they went all in on appealing to Gen Z, right? I think... Arjuna said, you just said, joking or maybe completely serious, movies aren't for us anymore. You're absolutely right. I think, and if Hollywood's smart and studios are smart, you look at Minecraft, you look at that reaction, you look at meme culture and the way internet culture is, you see that video games already did it. A lot of meme culture and internet culture is in our video games, right? Or new video games coming out. So it's the next progression is just movies. Movies is a bit late to the game. But yeah, you're right. I think you're totally right, Juno. Movies won't be made for us anymore because we just don't go to the movies anymore, right?
Well, and Warner's now in an interesting spot, right? Like, everyone assumed their big bet this year was Superman with DC and the DC films. This we're still in this era of superhero comic films. I think everyone can argue that that star has diminished over the last 5 years or so. I think the interesting thing that's going to happen this summer, and what I'm interested for from a studio's perspective, is how much more money, by the time we get to the end of the summer, how much more money, because I don't think it's going to be close now, has Minecraft made over Superman? And if you're Warner Brothers, how do you look at that, right? Because what has been the big bet for for Warner Brothers, for Disney? It's the superhero stuff. Oh, we have Marvel. Oh, we have DC, Amazon. We're doing the edgy superhero stuff, right? But I think like this could signal a shift within Warner Brothers, and which would then signal a larger shift in these existing studios of like maybe the superhero IP isn't worth as much, right? I went back and I looked at
video game IP. So Fortnite, Roblox, start making those movies.
Well, think about it, right? Last year, the Super Mario Brothers movie came out and made over $1 billion, and everyone was like, "Man, this is the new high watermark." And then Minecraft just came out and just shattered its opening weekend box office record it set a year ago. And so it's like, do we think this is the end, or do we think like this Legend of Zelda movie that's going to come out in 2 years is probably going to break this one, right? Or a Minecraft sequel, or a Super Mario Brothers sequel. You know what I mean? Like, it is going to be interesting to see which of these studios are going to be the first to be like, we're actually going to put all our eggs into this basket. Because like looking at Superman, right? Obviously, people are excited for this movie. People were like, oh, it's going to make money. When The Man of Steel came out in 2013, it starred Henry Cavill. It cost $250 million to make. What do you think its total profit was? Like, what do you think its box office total was?
130.
320.
It was $670 million,
Oops.
which is not bad. Which is not bad, right?
Yeah.
Well, if it had been 130, then Superman's dead forever. Like that's a huge
you're
loss.
right. You're right.
But if
You're
you
right.
look at it, right, typically for these big superhero IP, it's not a perfect one for one, but you take the budget and you double it with marketing, right? So a $250 million Superman movie, probably to break even, you had to make $500 million. So the movie probably only relatively made $170 million in profit, which for a superhero movie isn't that much, right? Because it's probably more than double.
That gets the movie canned at that point.
Exactly, right? And then remember, there never was a Man of Steel 2 because it didn't blow anyone away. What did they do? They cast Ben Affleck as Batman, and they did Batman v Superman, which made money, but damaged the brand beyond belief. And then every movie after
irreparable.
that. Irreparable.
It was done.
To the point that like Suicide Squad and Justice League and all the following Snyderverse movies that came out just bombed. So at one point I was like, yeah, Superman should make $1 billion. But now I'm like, is it going to make 800 million? Is it going to make 700 million?
I'm more curious. Like Superman, I think Superman coming out, especially right now in America, I think it's kind of interesting because America spoke and they wanted the Cheeto Man in power, and a lot of that people will say comes from like Middle America.
Sure.
That's what they want, etc. And why I bring all that stuff up is because that level and that group of people are very anti-woke, right? They don't like the idea of whatever they consider wokeism, etc. And that's important in the superhero franchise because that's what we have seen in aspects the last 5 years. Based on what I'm seeing with Superman, nothing about it from the trailers, rumors, nothing about it seems super woke, right? Superman is still a white guy from Kansas. He ain't black. He ain't anything different. He's not gay. He's not
He's
doing
just an
anything
alien.
that is considered woke.
Not
So
my Superman.
I'm kind of curious, like, does like people saying we don't want our superhero movies to be woke, does that actually equate to like seats or butts in seats, especially within Middle America, which still does pull to a degree in the box office? They
I
are
would
more
say,
likely
yeah.
to go see a movie than folks in larger cities, because in larger cities ticket prices are still higher.
Sure.
Good point.
People are, just there's a number of different factors, but Middle America is like where a lot of that stuff comes from. So I'm curious to see with how things are, people are going to be like, yes, let's go. Because the other big thing too is like, I don't know if you've seen on the socials, there's this big kind of like rally cry where, the right is now leaning into the idea that Superman is American, which when you think about it is fucking hilarious because he's an alien. He ain't even
He
an
is the
American.
definition
of
an
an
immigrant.
illegal
An immigrant.
So,
Illegal immigrant. That's a good
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
which is
He
hilarious.
didn't,
I'm
he didn't
just
have any
like,
permits on that ship.
the fuck? It almost goes back to the Henry Cavill Superman towards the end, where he's like, "I'm an American," and it's like, based on how the law is currently written, no.
Yeah, that's true.
Your
not
parents
That's
were
a really
born
good
here.
point. It's a really
Yeah.
good point.
So I don't know. Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see, like, is Minecraft going to double up Superman?
Yeah.
Is it going to do more than that, And again, how does Warner react? They've obviously announced all these kind of DC projects, but even if it is a profit and successful, do they pull back? And they're like, actually,
what
we're
they're
going to
gonna
go
do?
into Minecraft.
This is what they'll do. This is the ultimate strategy to save face. They'll let it happen. It's a bomb. And about 6 months after that, a merger or a sell-off occurs, and that's part of their strategy, so that people are like, "Oh, it's not because the movie sucked; it's because of the merger or the sell-off." That's why the new DC, whatever the fuck, is burning and terrible, etc. That'll be their like saving grace, if you will.
I think one last thing on the movies and the future of movies. The movie that will be the highest grossing movie of all time and create a record that will never be broken based on current trends is the Super Smash Brothers movie. They make a Super Smash Brothers movie and it's good and they cast it well and they make it will be the highest grossing movie of all time and it's a record that'll never be touched. Why?
Chris Pratt.
Because it touches every single generation. Every generation, it gets every generation. Millennials have played it. Gen Z has played it. Gen Alpha and now Beta growing up.
Yeah, you're talking
with these
about
characters.
when you say every generation, you mean the ones that the marketing teams care about.
Even like Gen X as well, right? Because Mario came out during Gen X, so even Gen X, you'll even get them because those characters are old as fuck. They've been around
Sorry,
for a
boomers.
while. But no, there'll probably still be some boomers too. I think boomers created those characters.
Might be a couple.
Let's be honest. So,
Fair.
but it'll be the highest grossing movie of all time, and then movies will end after that. It'll become VR experiences.
No, then James Cameron, James Cameron 2.0, his robot version of himself, will create Titanic 2. He's like, I'm coming back.
No, Cameron's busy making his wife cry over Avatar.
This is how James Cameron will get the record back. He'll do his famous Avatar Titanic crossover.
Ooh, there you go.
Titanic Avatar? What?
Yeah.
Well,
Terminator-
Titanic. No, because
Terminator-
Titanic was the highest grossing movie for a long time. Then obviously Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame broke it, and then Avatar broke it, and then like Avatar 2 broke it. So like
Avatar 2.
he'll combine the Avatars and the Titanic into one. We're also getting the third Avatar at the end of this year, by the way. Just a heads
I
up.
haven't seen a trailer. I don't believe it.
It's
Anyway,
called like
we're
Fire
not
and
just doing
something.
movies and TVs, and we just spent a large amount of time.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to get into our last topic. This podcast is back, but we are a little all over the place now. We're just keeping it more casual. We are Was It Good, right? We used to say that together, in unison all the time. Don't go back and check the logs. Just take my word for it. We used to say it together. But we talked about, and we can talk about this openly now here, the fatigue of getting in the groove, constantly watching and reviewing and kind of going through that cycle, and how it got tiresome and it got hard for us, especially because this is, spoiler alert to anyone. And I apologize if I'm ruining anyone's illusion. This is not the only thing we do. We all have full lives. Work full-time jobs, do things, lots of things together, lots of things apart in our lives that are not just related to watching movies and TV shows. Sometimes we like to play video games as well.
Democracy,
we don't.
Helldivers?
Helldivers. Yeah, so I'm curious to hear from you guys just like how you feel about moving away from that. I think we did discuss that there probably will be some times where we do, like that conversation we just had about movies and studio stuff, which was fun and interesting. I think there will be episodes and segments where we get into that stuff naturally. I think we all are interested in that stuff, but I think we don't want to lean away from our other interests as well. But I'm curious to hear how you guys feel about it and this pivot and this new journey into Was It Good 2.0.
Well, I will say, I think the funny thing is I had to obviously name this recording. I was like, we used to just go, WIG, WIG, Was It Good? And then the episode number. And obviously we got into like the 200s. So instead, this is now officially season 2.
Oh,
This is season 2, episode 1.
oh, I love that. I love that
Yeah,
so much.
I don't know if there's
actually.
ever been a season 1 that contains 200 and something fucking episodes, but there you go.
Probably an anime of some type.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's probably
Yeah,
probably an
that's true.
anime, but maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I mean, for me, it's the movies and TV shows is part of it, but also it's just having to throw out opinions. That's the part that at least wore me down because I don't personally consume reviews or other people's opinions, so it felt a little for me hypocritical to be doing it. So having a more natural conversation with you guys, letting the conversation flow, much like it did this episode, much more interesting and enjoyable. And I don't feel like I'm hurting other people by doing this.
I was gonna make a suggestion because as we're like, and for our dear listeners and viewers, we're figuring this. We're figuring this out as we go, and I had an idea where I think instead of announcing what the topic of next week is, I think we should announce who the host is for next week at the end.
Should we all vote?
Interesting.
I mean, we could just rotate, or whoever is the host could just blindly pick someone and then put them on the spot.
Oh.
Oh, I'm the host.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. When you close it out, then you could just be like,
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
tune in
And
next
the
week
next
when
week's host is
Tom, Dick, and Harry are hosting the Was It Good podcast.
Juna nominates himself, never lets it go.
Guys, I'm the new host of Was It Good forever.
Forever and ever.
Forever and ever and ever. And so like was just mentioned, we are going to try and do this weekly. There are going to be times where we won't be able to keep up with that. We want to also keep this pod more casual than it's probably ever been before in its many years of existence. We started Was It Good in 2018. So it has been a strong 7 years on and off, mostly on, a little bit off. And so we'll continue to bring this when we can, but we're not going to promise that we're here every Friday at 3 a.m. or whatever it may be. It's going to work on our schedules, and when it works for us, it works for us. Sometimes we might even do 2 episodes a week or something,
or 3.
There's lots to talk about, or sometimes we might. Well, hopefully we don't go another. Let's see. Our last episode was in July. It is now April. So carry the 2. We won't hopefully go 9 months in between podcasts like before.
That's a whole pregnancy. Is that why we stopped, Juna?
Yes, I want to.
I did get a new puppy, so.
Ooh, you did.
Yes,
you did. Harley.
Yeah.
I didn't birth the dog. Just.
I hope not.
Want to clarify
Prove
that.
it.
Yes, but I got a new dog. She's a lab and pit bull mix named Harley. Her name went through 5 iterations. So
there was a voting process, which I think ultimately didn't result in anything because I don't think Harley
it comes down
was
to
on
like
that.
when you're screaming at the dog, what sounds better, you know?
Harley.
Harley just sounds better. Originally, I wanted to go with Carter from Stargate SG-1.
Carter.
I was or Carter from Tucker, Tucker,
Rush Hour.
Tucker from Rush Hour, but Tucker's not really a.
You should have gone with Minsu.
Minsu, my boy.
Even though it's a girl.
Minsu, my boy.
Yes, I went with a bunch of male names instead of female.
Minsu would have been a great name.
Hey, Ravi, if you get a male dog at any point,
Yes.
or another male animal, like another male cat, can you call it Minsu?
Yes.
You can call it Minsu.
Oh,
All right, I will.
I will. I definitely will.
You
It's
can
not
call
gonna confuse
Megatron
you.
Minsu if you'd like. He doesn't know his
Minsu, my
fucking name.
boy.
Minsu, my boy.
Before Junior, you close it out, I do want to throw out just a fun question because obviously, like we talked a little bit about theme parks and things, and
Sure.
like Christian had mentioned, we had all at one point in our lives, like all of our, I think our first jobs, or roughly our first jobs, were working at Canopy Lake Park, which is a theme park in New Hampshire. Don't check it out if you're there. Go walk on the side of the street; it'll be way more interesting.
I actually do want to.
What do you
I do
think-
want to
what-
go back.
What do you think the cost of a ticket is there?
At Canopy Lake
For
Park.
Canopy?
Yeah,
It should be like
everyday run of the mill.
I'm gonna guess
Yeah.
$75.
no.
Okay. Krishna?
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess 35.
It was 30 when we left, so there's no way it's
and
only
that,
35.
And that was 20-something year, almost 20 years ago. It was $35. It is currently sitting at, for an everyday pass, and that doesn't, you can't use these on their like blackout days. It's sitting at $59.
Okay.
And you
Wow.
still have to pay for parking, and parking is around $25.
Jesus.
So I wasn't
Christ.
bad. I wasn't off, right? Like for a full day, $59.75. That is like $84
Yeah.
just to get in.
Just
for one
to
person.
walk in the door.
Have they at least added some new roller coasters?
I have no idea. I only went to the ticket page, and that's as far as I got.
Okay.
Guys, I have a new vlog idea. We can put it on the Ravi Lauren vlog page, or we can put it on the Was It Good YouTube page. We
both.
go back to Canopy Lake Park.
We should make it like a horror film, though.
Yeah.
We go for the horror
During
nights.
Halloween.
We go there during their little Halloween nights that Dad is always talking about.
Actually, no. It'd be better if we go during the summer. It's bright and sunny, but we still
God.
make it a horror. Still
Well,
make
that's
it a
the thing,
horror.
though, like, I would never want to go back to New Hampshire in the summer. It's so fucking humid.
True. It's
You
true.
have to go at the height of the worst part of what it is.
No.
And we can get the really crappy fried dough.
I love that fried dough. You take that back.
Christian, I bet you try it now and you'd be like, this is disgusting.
Oh, 100%. But when I worked there, my lunch every day was fried fucking dough.
Mine
and
was
public
always the French fries.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's
I think
because-
I got fries and fried dough.
That's because what I would do, because I worked in the games department, and if you've ever worked in an arcade, you know how to go about getting some quarters. So I would take those quarters and then I'd go to the little like food stand and I'd pay for like what was it, like $3.75? So that's like what is that, like 16 or 15 quarters to get some fries, and that would be my lunch.
I would
Damn.
do the chicken sandwich because I ate chicken back then.
Whoa.
That is shocking.
You know, I was doing the math. It's almost been. I was 19 when I went vegetarian, so I'm
Who's
only
president, Obama or Bush? Obama, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was President Obama. But I'm like 6 years away from being at the halfway point of my life, being vegetarian or pescatarian.
That's plenty of
chicken.
time to break you. I must break you.
Sahara tries to break me every day. She just waves chicken in my face.
Yeah, raw chicken, right? She slaps you with it.
Yeah, like a chicken thigh.
Oh, Marshall.
Marshall, no. I think that's going to do it for us here on Was It Good? I don't remember the closeout. I don't know
I'll
if
do
we're
it. I
really
have it
pumping
up
our
on my
social
screen.
or anything.
We're still asking the same question, was it good? But now it's about more than just screens.
Oh, shit.
And
There you
as
go.
always, you can find full episodes of the pod wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, etc. And for video podcasts, you can also get them on youtube.com/wasitgoodpod. We haven't decided if we're going to post on social. We might have AI do it. We'll see.
ChatGPT is our friend.
But you're going to name the next host.
The next host is, drum roll please,
That's not a drum.
it is Krishna.
Congratulations.
Wow. I feel honored. Are we going to be doing it from that place that's not in America?
We haven't decided that yet.
Okay.
We'll
Stay
say
tuned.
no matter
Could be
what,
exciting.
though, no matter what, when it's the three of us, you will be the next host for that. How's
Oh, that's
that?
fair.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Till
Goodbye.
then, good day.
Good day.